YNS YouTube News Service Extra.
In British local news, David Cameron's moves could make EU fall apart, says Herman Van Rompuy. From whatever his name is. David Cameron's quest to find a new deal for Britain in Europe by clawing back powers from Brussels could cause the European Union to fall apart quickly and inflict immense damage on the single market. Van Rompuy, the top official in the EU, also voiced strong doubts about reopening EU treaties to retool Europe after years of debt crisis, further complicating Cameron's strategy, which hinges on renegotiating the Lisbon Treaty in order to secure concessions for Britain. In his first remarks on the vexed issue of Britain's future in the EU, Van Rompuy told The Guardian that a British exit will cause immense damage to Europe, hurting both Britain and the 26 other countries. If every member state were able to cherry-pick those parts of existing policies that they most liked, and opt out of those that they least like, the Union in general, and the single market in particular, would soon unravel, he said. All member states can, and do, have particular requests and needs that are always taken into consideration as part of our deliberations. I do not expect any member state to seek to undermine the fundamentals of our cooperative system in Europe. Adding to the growing chorus of concern across Europe about the direction Cameron has taken in Europe, Wolfgang Schäuble, the influential German finance minister, told The Guardian that Britain would be shooting itself in the foot if a Cameron government's second term resulted in the UK terminating more than 40 years of European membership. Without the EU as an amplifier, Britain's influence in the world would be lessened. No European country alone can make its voice heard in today's globalized world, said Schäuble, one of Europe's most powerful politicians. Europe needs an ongoing critical debate about the best way forward. The British voice is sorely needed in this competition of ideas. As the EU's first Council President chairing the summits that have virtually become a monthly fixture through 3 years of currency crisis, Van Rompuy has become the Union's chief fixer, mediating between national leaders. The Flemish Christian Democrat expressed strong support for keeping Britain in the EU, while indirectly suggesting that Cameron's game plan would fail. Schäuble too listed several reasons why Britain gained from EU membership, by implication highlighting the losses the UK would suffer were it to depart. The political stability and economic prosperity European integration has secured have benefited the UK as much as they have the continent. As an EU member, Britain has enjoyed the unrestricted access to the world's largest single market, he said. The EU has benefited tremendously from British membership. The UK is one of Europe's strongest, most innovative economies. London is the financial capital of Europe. Van Rompuy, speaking to the Guardian as part of a 3-day series on the future of Britain in Europe ahead of the 40th anniversary, said a British departure would see a friend walk off into the desert. Given its history as the EU's preeminent trading nation, Britain had far more to lose than to gain from cutting the EU cord. However, this reporter believes that we should never join the fucking EU in the first place. And our final story of the day is a bit of technology news. It used to take the best part of 24 hours to travel by train from Beijing to the southern boomtown of Guangzhou. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But as of Wednesday, when the world's longest high-speed rail line opened for business, the 1,428-mile journey has been cut to a mere 8 hours. The new trains travel at an average speed of 186 miles per hour, passing through 5 provinces as they tear through the countryside. China's high-speed rail network is one of the country's most expensive infrastructure projects and a symbol of its long-term ambitions. Yet the program has recently been plagued by scandal. A bullet train crash killed 40 people, a section of track collapsed in the rain, and a top railway official was sacked for corruption, raising concerns about its safety, its sustainability, and cost. On Wednesday, one bullet train left Beijing for Guangzhou at 9 a.m. An hour later, another began its journey in the opposite direction. The Beijing-bound train was briefly delayed by snow in the afternoon, according to the South China Morning Post, which live blogged the journey. At one point, the train slowed to 114 miles per hour, most probably because of the weather. The world's longest line consists of 4 main divisions running between the capital Beijing and the central transport hub Zhengzhou in Henan, Wuhan in central China, and Guangzhou. The line connecting Wuhan and Guangzhou opened in 2009, and the one between Beijing and Zhengzhou held its first trial run over the weekend. The line stops in 35 cities and will eventually reach Hong Kong. According to the state news service Xinhua, I hope I'm pronouncing these words right, 155 pairs of trains will run every day. Older trains connecting the 2 cities will remain in service, in case you like life in the slow lane, I guess. Or you want to take a more scenic route rather than rocketing past everything. Business class tickets on the line sell for £270. More than a month's salary for many of Beijing's low-level white-collar workers. Try saying that when you're drunk. Standard seats cost about £86, about twice as much as a bunk and an older train, though slightly cheaper than most flights. China's high-speed rail program was established in 2007, and its first line, connecting Beijing and nearby Tianjin, opened just before the 2008 Beijing Olympics. The system now has more than 5,780 miles of track. The Railways Ministry has announced plans to invest $400 billion to complete a 10,000-mile network by 2020, with 4 main lines running east to west and 4 from north to south. A bullet train accident in July 2011 outside the coastal metropolis of Wenzhou sparked widespread public outrage over the speed of construction and corruption within the expansive ministry. One train rear-ended another, derailing 8 cars and sending 4 hurtling off a bridge. In response, the ministry launched an investigation into the crash. The culprit was identified as a signal equipment malfunction and reduced the train's top speed by 30 miles per hour. Some analysts say China's rail system is necessary for continued growth. Huge investments in the rail system shielded China from the worst effects of the 2009 global financial crisis and another economic slump earlier this year. Yet the project has proved costly. The Railway Ministry, one of China's biggest borrowers, is saddled with £190 billion of debt. It lost £874 million in the first half of this year alone. Investment in the system slowed in aftermath of the Wenzhou crash, but has risen almost 255% year-on-year, 250%, as of October, according to Bloomberg. Whoever that is. Editorials in the state-run press have said the new line will take pressure off the country's transportation system during the coming Spring Festival holiday, when hundreds of millions of urban residents travel back to their ancestral home villages in what is the world's largest annual human migration. So, Thank you all for watching this episode of YNS. I've been your host, Darryl McGarry, and stay tuned for more news soon. Very soon, but not incredibly soon. Yes. And enjoy the rest of your evening, or morning, or afternoon, or whatever time of day you are watching this video.